Welcome to the What's New presentation for MDA version 8.8.0. My name is Mathan Kumar Raju, and I am the product manager for MDA at ETAS. In this video, I will walk you through the new features and improvements included in this release. You can find the corresponding timestamps for each topic in the video description below. As always, we welcome your feedback. Please use the link in the comment section to share your thoughts with us. With the release of MDA version 8.8.0, we've significantly improved how the software handles configurations created in future versions of the tool. The first section explains how MDA V8.8.0 handles configurations created with future MDA versions. Starting with MDA version 8.7.6, you can open configurations created with future versions. The tool checks the original MDA version. If it's newer, the contents are imported instead of loaded, and any unsupported content will be skipped. Until last release, MDA could import all layers and basic instruments. In MDA version 8.8.0, we have added support for compatibility import of calculated signals. In this configuration, you can see a complex distance calculation derived from a vehicle speed signal, including all the specific settings. I then made a copy of a configuration in XDX format and modified it so that it appears to originate from a future MDA version. Now, let's see what happens when we load a configuration that appears to originate from a future version. When I open this file, MDA version 8.8.0 immediately recognizes the version coming from the future. In this case, an information window appears to guide you. Rather than risking a direct load that might be unstable, MDA automatically creates a new empty configuration and imports every compatible items into it. Your original file is untouched and safe. As you can see, the import process now successfully brings over those calculated signals, ensuring your math and logic remains intact. Looking ahead, this compatibility mechanism will continue to expand with further updates, adding support for functions and all remaining instrument types. In this section, we're introducing the new synchronization mode. This update is all about instant insight. The moment you adjust your view or move a cursor, your statistics update automatically. No extra clicks or manual refreshes are needed, so your data stays in sync with your view. To show you how this works, I have set up a configuration with an oscilloscope and two statistical instruments. Previously, statistical calculations are synchronized to the visible time range. You can see that here. As I zoom in, the statistics update instantly to match whatever is currently on the screen with respect to time range. Now when I switch back to the overall time range, then the statistical instruments update the calculations immediately according to the visible window. But for more targeted analysis, let's look at the new sync mode option in the toolbar settings. We are going to switch on the cursor time range sync now. Let's see how the cursor time range synchronization is working. Once this is enabled, the behavior synchronizes dynamically. To the cursor range, you'll find this option right here in the statistical instrument toolbar. When enabled, the statistic instrument snaps to your active cursors, using that precise time window for its calculations. The first statistic instrument is now synchronized with the oscilloscope cursor time range of 144 to 293 seconds, as you see here. As I slide the cursors across the signal, the results update in real time. For easy comparison, the best part is you can now run both modes in parallel. I have one instrument showing the cursor range and the other one showing the time range synchronization for an immediate side-by-side comparison. In summary, this synchronization mode ensures that no matter how you configure your view, you always have a precise, cursor-driven window for your most critical data analysis. The tool handles the placement of the cursors for you. It's faster, more flexible, and puts the calculation exactly where you need it. It automatically generates a pair at the 1/3 and 2/3 marks of your window, so you can start analyzing immediately. This section explains how. MDA version 8.8.0 supports reading Ethernet MDF file format. We are expanding our data compatibility within MDA. The tool now supports reading MDF files containing Ethernet data, bringing the same level of analysis you are used to with CAN to high-bandwidth Ethernet networks. Once the measurement file is loaded, the integration is seamless. Similar to the CAN signals, now we can see the Ethernet signals as well in the variable Explorer, the Ethernet payload, its data length, the destination and source frame information. Now, the payload signal has been assigned to the table instrument, and the Ethernet payload signal is seen directly in the table instrument as a raw data. To get the most out of your data, we have introduced new calculated signals specifically designed to handle this binary Ethernet structures. If you need to pull a specific value from the payload, you can extract an integer from binary data function. This allows you to transform raw payload into meaningful, precise, actionable signals. This means you can move from high-level bus monitoring to bit-level analysis without even leaving the MDA environment. Now, after you do the extraction from the payload, we can apply the filter for them. For example, now I set a filter, which is equal to 192 for sender IP address. And when I apply now, I see only the items from 192 sender address. In short, you now no longer need external scripts to pre-process your Ethernet logs. Everything from high-level frame overview to bit-level signal extraction happens directly within MDA. In this section, I'd like to demonstrate the new option to adjust play speed for the video instrument. I have now prepared the configuration with an oscilloscope and video instrument to show the demo. We have now added more flexibility to the video instrument with the introduction of adjustable playback speeds, allowing for both high-speed reviews and detailed slow-motion inspections. You can now tailor the review process to your specific needs. Whether you need a high-level overview or a frame-by-frame deep dive, you have full control over the sequence velocity. For more detailed analysis, you can slow things down to half of the speed and make it easier to spot transient events that might be missed at the standard speed. Alternatively, you can accelerate the playback 2 times faster or 5 times faster to quickly skip through long and uneventful recordings and reach your area of interest faster. This simple yet powerful update ensures that your video review is efficient as your data analysis. In this section, I'd like to highlight the improvements made to display shortcuts, and status is now visible in instrument menus. We have made several enhancements to the instrument menus to improve your workflow and make powerful features easier to find. First, you will notice the keyboard shortcuts are now displayed directly within the drop-down menu. This improves discoverability, allowing you to learn essential shortcuts naturally as you work, without ever needing to check the documentation. It's not only for the table instrument, but it's also available in the scatter plot for changing the data representation, and also for the print options. The same for the oscilloscope instrument as well. We have also improved visual feedbacks within the oscilloscope instrument. The context menus now feature active state indicator. Clear tick marks now identify exactly which options are enabled, such as show signals curve is enabled for the altitude, and for the speed signal, show signals curve is not enabled. For the vehicle speed, both show signals curve and show signal on top is enabled. This instant feedback lets you verify your setting at a glance by seeing the current state before you click. You can work more confidently and avoid accidental changes during a deep dive into your data. And finally, our UI enhancement puts shortcuts and active status indicator right in the context menus. This makes the tools you use every day more intuitive and discoverable. In this section, I'd like to highlight the improvements made to replacing measurement files via a hotkey. Efficiency is key when managing data. That is why we have accelerated your file management with the hotkey, allowing you to replace multiple measurement files instantly without digging through the menus. You can now perform a multi-select to replace several files at once. Whether you are updating a single log or an entire batch, the process is now unified. By using the new global hotkey Ctrl+Shift+R, you can trigger the replacement instantly. You will also find the dedicated replacement icon in the ribbon, if you prefer using the mouse. By selecting the files, I can now perform the replace activity. I can yet see Add a Replace Measurement dialog opens automatically, allowing you to quickly point to your new files and update the entire workspace in one go. I move the file to the file replacement. Similarly, the voltage cell measurement file for the first file, and I perform right now the replace activity. The replacement process is then completed. This entire action can be undoable if this was not an intentional behavior. This shortcut removes the friction from repetitive file management, keeping your focus on the actual analysis. In this section, I'd like to highlight the improvements made to table instrument, which now supports left and right alignment for signal data. To further improve data readability, the table instrument now supports custom signal alignment. A new alignment icon in the toolbar allows you to toggle between the left and right alignment for your signal values. This makes it easier to scan and interpret different data types at a glance. Briefly, for example, you might prefer right alignment for the numerical values to keep the decimal lined up, or for the text strings to be left aligned. And, for example, binary data to the left aligned, or to the right aligned. It's a small change that makes large tables significantly clearer. Best of all, these preferences are persisted per signal name in your user settings. Once you define an alignment, MDA remembers it for all your further analysis sessions. This creates cleaner and more readable tables. Since preferences are saved per signal names, your tables stay organized exactly how you like them across different sessions. To conclude, here is the complete overview of the new features included in MDA version 8.8.0. For more details, please take a look at the What's New slides, which are available both within MDA 8 and on the ETAS website. For more information about the Measure Data Analyzer MDA, please visit our website at www.etas.com/MDA. We would greatly appreciate your feedback. Please let us know how useful this video was for you by using the link provided in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your interest in MDA 8.